Strap in, folks, it's gonna get loud. Do, 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 do. 2023 hasn't even started yet, and we already got ourselves one hell of a humdinger. Even before the 2-year anniversary of the day that a number of pissed off unarmed rednecks almost overthrew our republic, we're already witnessing another kind of bloodthirsty insurrection in the form of parliamentary procedure and legal proceedings. It's already been established by the establishment that Kevin McCarthy, a man who isn't even loved by his own mother, was supposed to take over as Speaker of the House. But since those racism Republicans are still hurting their buttholes over the red wave that didn't happen in the midterms, they just can't help themselves but try and prevent democracy from happening by not giving Kevin McCarthy the votes he needs in order to become Speaker. And I just have to ask, what is the ultra-right-wing MAGA racism's Nazi anti-transphobic Republicans' obsession with overthrowing our government? Just because Kevin McCarthy is pathetically unpopular, that doesn't give you the right to not blindly accept him as your Lord and Savior. Any Republican who sided with Kevin McCarthy is the kind of white guy that you want to hang around, you know? He's the kind of guy who will hang out with you and feed you cheap beer and get you good and hammered, then steal your wallet, give it to Vladimir Zelensky, and then spend some time with your wife in Florida as he comes over to borrow a hot cup of sex. And the Republicans who voted against McCarthy are the same types of people who write erotic fan fiction about the homoerotic adventures of Joseph Stalin, Pol Pot, and their trusty sperm dumpster Brian Stelter as they try to outrun Abraham Lincoln and his robot army of well-hung white supremacist Nazi warriors. And let me tell you, if you got half a boner just listening to that, then you're my kind of audience. I'm gonna mail you a copy of the novel, whether you want it or not. Who says that in order for democracy to work, you actually need to vote somebody into power? Hell, we have been doing that in the last 4 years. Just take a look at Maricopa County, where Kari Lake is still trying to perform her own insurrection by appealing the verdict of her previous lawsuit to overturn the election that Katie Hobbs freely and fairly certified for herself. Kari Lake using her legal options to investigate an election with too many anomalies to be considered a mere coincidence is the literal definition of fascism's trying to overthrow our government. And if I were her father, trust me, I'd wish to God and Sonny Jesus that I would have pulled out. And if you think an insurrection can only happen in the government, then guess what, asshole? Here's a little knowledge bomb for your ass. There's an insurrection on the science itself. Damar Hamlin, who plays the sports ball for the Buffalo Bills, had a heart attack mid-game, and sick, disgusting, perverted individuals are now trying to blame this on a certain medical procedure that shall remain nameless. For the love of God, people, how many times do we have to go over this? Joe Biden, who is a medical specimen and massive pedophile, went on national television to tell you that the injection was free, effective, and most importantly, safe.
What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us. Get vaccinated.
In fact, it was so safe that he used a perverted legal loophole to try to force you to take it. And that logic was good enough for the NFL, who documented that 95% of their employees were fully vaccinated. I guess it really is just a mere coincidence that multiple cases of young, healthy athletes just mysteriously collapsing over due to cardiac arrest, it's just really kind of a coincidence and has absolutely nothing to do with that mysterious medical treatment. And much like vote counting centers taking a couple of weeks to count midterm votes, it's totally normal for young and healthy athletes to be mysteriously collapsing over and dying due to cardiac arrest. And I can remember as a young boy watching professional wrestling in my pajamas and remembering all of my favorite wrestlers like the Ultimate Warrior and Marty Jannetty just collapsing over due to massive heart problems. Remember that? Cause I don't. But all that matters is that we use this to our advantage and punish anybody who goes out there and spreads dangerous and hateful, disinformed medical misinformation. Because that fucking narrative still needs to be pushed, apparently. All you have to do is just blindly accept that the medicine works and it's perfectly fine, and if you don't like it, then according to this commie Frenchman, you're a misogynist and probably a Nazi.
Vaccination, qui sont extrémistes, qui croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi. C'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays. Est-ce qu'on Est-ce qu'on tolère?
Right now, we should absolutely wish for a speedy recovery for Damar Hamlin, his family, and his teammates, and hope that they're able to find some peace during this horrible time. But we should also use this as an opportunity to remind you that asking any kind of questions is tantamount to an insurrection on the Trapper Keeper of the Science. And if you do that, you should probably be sent to science jail. Because it wouldn't surprise me if that's actually a fucking thing. What is up, Mahones? Arston the Unclean here. Thanks a million for checking out the new video. If you think athletes collapsing due to heart issues is terrible and not your bag at all, then congratulations, you are one of the normal ones. Why don't you take a second to celebrate by hitting that like and subscribe button down below. And the comments section is always looking a little lonely without your company, so join in on the conversation if you have a moment to spare. Today's subject is zinc. I can't be the only one who was truly heartbroken the day Shawn Michaels threw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. I swear that was the day this old soul started to wither away into an existence of sheer cynicism and despair. But thanks to your support, I find the strength to move forward, look 2023 crooked in the eye, and say, give me your best shot, pal. I can take it. And as always, thank you for caring, and I'll see you in the gulag.